Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Derek Chauvin, the police officer that put his foot on the neck of George Floyd, and George Floyd passed away. But the main premise, I want to talk about Latinos and Mexicans and what my experience with them are, so on and so forth. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about Kim 123. Somebody told me about him. I've been kind of doing some research. We putting him on the grill today, and I want you to come back. I want you to come back. You know, because Latinos collectively, like every other race, you're going to find some that don't like us blacks. But you're going to find a whole lot more that do. And you're going to find a whole lot more that are loyal. Like they like their family values and some of those things are honorable. And I, like, y'all hear me putting AE. AE is Latino, he's Mexican. That's my boy. You know, he always had my back. People used to try to be saying little stuff, little slick stuff when I wasn't around. He was around, he'll be sticking up for me. And it got to the point where they'd be like, never mind. I'm saying, you know, like even when I was working at the same facility, one particular time, what happened was it was a black Latin king, and he was into it with the Mexican posse, the MPs. And so, I mean, I was okay with the black dude, but they turned against me. You know, rest in peace to Smurf. That was his nickname. He was Mexican posse. And, you know, the thing about him is he loved his girl, man. And I ended up, you know, and one of their rivals was C-14s. They was cool as well. Like, I knew a lot of the C-14s. Never had no problems out of them, other than having to keep them separate from the Mexican posse. But the Smurf came, his room was in the corner. He was like, "Hey, Howard, let me talk to you a minute." And so they was telling me, and like somebody else had told me the same thing. They wouldn't say, I ain't in it, man, but I'm just looking out for you, man. They're gonna try to get you. Because I was shutting down all of that, and they got to the point where I said, man, all of y'all lock in. Like, I just made them all go to their cells. Because I didn't want to deal with that little gang stuff, man. You know, people get injured in those fights sometimes because some people just not fluid, and they do things like I can, one time my finger got broke because one of the other staff rolled back and crushed my finger into the rail. You know? So he said, "Hey, man, I just want you to know, man, they trying to jump you, but you got goons on deck." And so I said, let me bring them out here. So I brought the other MPs out there. And I ain't gonna say their name, they still alive and stuff like that. I don't know what they doing, so we're gonna, you know, but Smurf, you know, that was heartbreaking that happened to him, because that dude was loyal, man. That was like, you know, I know they say don't fraternize and stuff like that too much, but you know, sometimes you just had them people that you click with, and it's not that I wasn't doing no special favors for nobody. I'm by the book, but that was my little guy, man. And so I brought the other ones out. I think it was only like 3 of them on the pod. But he said, They planning on jumping you. He said, but you got goons on deck. And it was basically 3 against like 15. Like, it was the whole pod. They all was mad at me. And them dudes was like, man, if they try to get you, let us out, man. They was going to scrap and probably was going to lose because there was too many of them. But that's just how loyal they was. And like I told you, AE was loyal. My experiences with them, now it was kind of a little different in Texas, though. I can't lie. But even down there, like when I was at Luxottica, my little guy Will, loyal. It's like a friend. Like, my experiences with them are good. And that brings me to my subject matter. That I believe, like, even watching videos about Arizona, I see how, like, connected some of the Latinos and the blacks are down there. You know, they want you to believe that black people is warm with Latinos. And of course, in small segments, you know, such stuff happened in Chicago. You know, some sects, SECTS, was kind of extincted through wars and stuff like that. But collectively, that ain't the case, man. And that's what I want to talk about. Guy, I'm mainly going to focus on Derek Chauvin. But the guy think he just took a dude out. Or no, Eric Holder, the one that apparently shot Nipsey Hussle, Mexican dude, took off on him, rode on him, swole him up, messed him up for what he did to Nipsey Hussle. Now let me read what happened to Derek Chauvin. Cause y'all listen to KEM 123. That dude probably an agent. That's not how it is for the most part. He just want to go against black dudes. Maybe he got bullied by blacks or some black dude took his girl or something. I'm sure it's a backstory. It says Derek Chauvin was stabbed 22 times in a federal prison attack according to the new charges. Minneapolis. The inmate who stabbed former Minneapolis, and y'all know I be coughing. I'm in the final stages, so just bear with me. I ain't gonna stop making videos because it's cold. It says, the inmate who stabbed former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin in federal prison last week did so 22 times with an improvised knife, according to recently filed criminal charges. Now, why am I reading this? I'm going to tell you why. It says, Derek Chauvin, who was badly hurt after he was stabbed in federal prison 1 week ago. The charging documents indicate the stabbing happened in the law library at the Federal Correctional Institution in Tucson, Arizona. Chauvin is currently serving his 22-year sentence there. The former police officer was convicted of killing George Floyd during an arrest in May of 2020. It says, who is John Terzak, the man accused of stabbing Derek Chauvin 22 times? The Associated Press reports that Terzak told investigators that he attacked Chauvin on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, as a symbolic connection to the Black Lives Matter movement and the Black Hand symbol associated with the Mexican Mafia gang. Said Terzak is serving a 30-year sentence for crimes committed while a member of the Mexican Mafia gang. Y'all see what I'm talking about in Arizona, right? They ain't against each other. And the main premise, I believe that a lot of them have done the research and they know about the tribal peace agreements that their ancestors had with some of our ancestors. Now, I know there's people out there that want to spread stuff that says otherwise, but that's not the case. And you got to realize them dudes be knowing this stuff, man. Notice he did it on Black Friday, the Black Hand, the Mexican Mafia. I'm telling you, they tapped in with each other down there. You know, they probably know about that stuff. They probably know about that stuff. Again, there's gonna be instances of blacks and Latinos getting into it in prison, getting into it in this, into it in that. But collectively, our ancestors and their ancestors had a lot of peace agreements. Do your research. What do you think the Seminole Indian was? The Seminole was when their ancestors, our ancestors, saw who the true enemy was, and they tried to form a super soldier. They start marrying each other and they start breeding, and guess what? So technically, the natives, like, I don't want to get into no political thing on this video because, you know, we got political videos when we talk about this. But if you want to get technical, their ancestry and our ancestry can't be immigrants because we were already here. But who's keeping score? You know, certain stuff, man, like some of them, it's not all of them, it's some of the tribes. But I still say, this is what I think they should do. They should do DNA tests, and the ones who their ancestry can be traced back to the United States should be given American citizenship out the rip. The ones that ain't, they should have to go through the process. Because, again, some of their ancestors were here, just like some of ours were. They try to get us to call ourselves African Americans so we can be without reparations. But that ain't the point I'm making. What I want to highlight how loyal these guys are. Like, even I told y'all about when I was working at the halfway house, how you always gonna have them ones that some people just not gonna like you. But when you dealing with them, it's gonna be a lot of loyalty. Like I told y'all about the kid Zach. Zach told the truth. You know, I ain't gonna lie, Mr. Howard, you too stiff. I wanted to get you fired. I told him flat out. I said, man, you just gained my respect today because you told the truth. And I started dealing with him more, started taking him with him. You had to pick a kid. When you go pick the kids up from work and stuff like that, when you go do stuff, you have to take a kid with you, and or you have to take two because you can't be with them by themselves. And I used to pick him a lot. Me and him, we had rapport after that. So there's another one. I ain't gonna say his name because I think he's in prison right now. He was half black, half Latino. And he was so loyal that every time he did something, they thought I was putting them up to it because, like, what used to happen was some of the kids, they get to working and they start acting slick. Like, they start talking slick so they get in trouble and stuff like that. So one particular day, I had a disagreement with this one kid that, you know, he was black, but he didn't want to be, put it that way. So he was always trying to give me a hard time for no reason. Like, just talking slick, but he wasn't tough. He wasn't that kind of dude. So one day I was off, and the kid I'm talking about slapped him. We had a whole meeting. Like, the supervisor was trying to shoot off like I put him up to it. I'm looking at him like, man, I didn't put him up to that. He did that because that's just how he is, man. He don't like, you know, that's just how it be. Just like I ain't gonna bring that up. What they was calling me in the detention, the nickname. But this is the point I make all the time. Racism is for low IQ, slow, docile, superficial, matrix trap people. You supposed to, if you don't like somebody, it shouldn't be because of their race. It should be because of how they act and stuff they do. Like, it's people in every race I don't like. And it's not because of race. Like, I'm not going to say, well, he's this race, so I don't like him. No. I'm no matrix. I'm high IQ. Why would I think like that? That's how people want you to think. That's how these half humans want. Uh-oh. Let's keep going. That's how they want y'all to think, man. That's how they want y'all to think. But all race-based attacks should stop. If you're not an agent, if you're not working with this person, that person, E-group, stop. The joke is on you. Because it's not about race. We all bleed red. But, like I say, gotta give it to, they loyal, man. Every now and then you'll run into one that's not. You can't expect everybody to be the same. But collectively, that's my experience. That's my experience with them. It ain't been perfect. I got into it when I was at the halfway house. I got into it. He ended up getting out. I used to look at him, man. I'm like, man, you soft, man. It was a couple of them. They just was trying to give me a hard time because I was new. Like, the dude was trying to, it almost seemed like he was trying to entice me into a fight. Because what happened was, like, you got to do, like, when you work in TJJD, you can't do certain things, right? Second day in the house, one of the dudes tried to attack another dude. He running, chasing him around the house. I tried to stop him. He turned around with his guards up, so I put mine up. They like, nah, you can't do that. You can't do that. So he kept trying to say, because he knew what he was doing. He was trying to get me to say something that could get me fired. He used to be talking about, oh, his post was weak. I'm thinking in my mind, okay, you think my post is weak. Let's see you get through my post. But I ain't say it. He was not what he do. This dude was not that, man. They already told me how he was when he was up in the facility. Mainly talk. So they don't all, like, he didn't like me. The other dude he used to be with didn't like me. But I ended up, once they was gone, Zach was cool. You know? So, ain't no Latino versus black. Them Kim 1, 2, 3. You know what? This was, you take this right here. This dude, and oh yeah, you finna go on the grill, buddy. Oh yeah. You going on the grill. You going on there. I would encourage any sound-minded person, do not listen to content creators like him who trying to side with the women about us, forgetting about all the other people and the other racial groups in the world that create problems and cause problems. It's only us, right? Man, man. All right. You getting sizzled. I got all the seasonings ready. You going on the grill. And I'm going to be going to your lives, I'm gonna be playing a lot of your sound bites. Matter of fact, let's get off of this video so we can get on him.